Hey, what's up? It's Sugar from Sound Candy Studio, and today I'm going to bring you the long-awaited Loopcloud version 4 by Loopmasters. Now, I told you before my previous video, I love this product, and it's a really, really good product. Okay, so without further ado, let's just jump into it. See you in a moment. Welcome back. Right, so today we're going to be talking about the long-awaited version 4 of Loopcloud by Loopmasters. Now, I love the last one, so needless to say, I'm gonna love this one. I've been playing with it for a little bit now, and I just love it. So by the time this video comes out, you guys should be able to get it. So you can let me know what you think and what you like and what you don't like. But I like everything about this. I love the last one. Okay, so enough of me talking about it. Okay, so the main section before, for those of you who have already used this, we're going to talk about the new features. For those who haven't used it before, there's a card that's going to be appearing about now. Go and take a look at version 3, because then in that video I explain some of the functionality of the product. But for those of you who've used it before, we're just waiting to see what this does. What is the new? So everything stays the same, but they've added this bit here, and this bit here is, for me, it's a massive game changer. And I said that before, but I'm saying it again because I just simply love this product. Okay, so some of the key features. So we had this before, we've seen this before, the original and the process, we know what that does. The BPM, we know what that does. The pitch, we know what that does. But this section here where it says patterns, that is new. The edit is new, the grid is new, and that edit there is new, and obviously the zoom is new. So it simply is that these pieces here, they were on the last one, but now we can do edits and slices and cuts and reverses and all sorts of things, and that's what we've been waiting for. So the very first thing that I liked when I saw this, I opened it up and I saw this hand appear here, and I thought, oh, so we can gain stage now. That is definitely going to be a big thing, because as I said before, when you normally buy samples, they come in really hot, and that makes a massive difference, because what I try to do, I try to gain stage. So if I go to my Loopmasters, my Studio One, let's get rid of this. When I go to Studio One, you can see I always have this mix tool to just to manage the overall gain, because they're normally quite hot, and I like the faders to be roughly in the center on 0 dB, so that I don't have to keep riding the faders to make all these different cuts. So now what Loopmasters have done, they've added this, so we can go from infinity all the way to 24 plus 24 dB. So that is a massive game changer, and I love that, because now when I go in, I will probably drop this into sort of minus 10, minus 12 dB, and then I will drag it over into my DAW. Incidentally, if you drag this down and you decide that you don't want it here, you can just double click on it and let it return back to 0 dB. Right, so what can we do with this that we couldn't do before? There are a number of features on it, and some really weird features, but really, really nice features, but they just make a huge difference. So what we're going to do here, first of all, we'll look at the tools. So this pattern section, I'm going to show you what this does in a second, but what I do like about this, so we have the grid, and the grid is set to auto. I'm going to leave it on snap to grid, because it's already snapped to this certain grid. But what I like about this, I'm on the Mac, so on a Mac, if we hold down the Option key, the splice tool comes up, or the slice tool comes up, and what I like about this, it allows me to do this. So I'm going to cut out, I'll play this sample in a second, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this is a drum loop, and I'm going to cut this, I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to cut out the hi-hat from the kick drum. So here we have, let's play the loop and we'll hear what it sounds like. Now, what I want to do here is I want to cut these kick drums out. So I'm going to just hold down, I'm going to hold down the control key. So I'm going to hold down the shift key. Let's just grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that. And I'll tell you why in a second. Then I'm going to delete them. So now what I've been able to do is I've deleted them. So now it sounds like this. And why do I want it to sound like that? Because when I when I work on music, I generally like to have things as separated as possible. So if we do it that way, I can grab this. So this is essentially the kick drum. I can grab this processed kick drum and drop it directly into my DAW. Now when I've dropped it into my DAW, it's 2 bars long, but I'm going to just duplicate that, make it 4 bars long. Now we've got this. Okay, great. So we've got the kick in. So actually what I should have done, perhaps I should have put this where it says kick, and then we'll go back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo what I've just done, and then I'm going to take away the bass drum because we don't want that. So let's get rid of that. Just do that real quick. Just get rid of that. Now we can say this. Let's just say this is open or closed hi-hat. So we'll do it here. And now we'll go. If we go here, we can quickly do this. And if we go to our mixer, we can see that on our kick drum, we can bring that away. There we go. And I've got much more control over it straight away. And that I do, that I really do like. I like that a lot because it means that I don't have to go in and try and do this in my sampler. If I can do it here, then I'd rather do it here. So that is a nice little feature that I really do like about this. Okay, so what else can we do? One of the things that I struggled with earlier on when I first opened this up is once we've made these, so we've made these cuts. For no apparent reason, we've made these cuts because we wanted to separate. If we click on another sample, this one, it also, those cuts still appear. So if we go here, it sounds like this. If we click to the next one, it sounds like this. So the good thing about this is if we wanted to drag these in, they're already cut. We don't need to cut them again. They're already cut. So let's go down and do some random ones. Let's go down here. Let's listen to this one. They're already cut. I mean, come on. Let's not play around here. Okay, so we've got our drums and we've already cut them. So the thing that I was mentioning earlier that really did fool me. Okay, we've made these cuts and we are going to look for some chords or something else, a bass or something else to put on here. How do we get rid of this? And that fooled me for a minute. So we'll go in and let's choose something else. Let's just find. I don't know. Let's go to this one. We're going to find something else. Let's find some hooks and phrases. How about that? Let's see what that sounds like. So the first problem that I found is, okay, I don't want this cut in this way. How do I get rid of it? It took me a minute to find out, but what you do is you go to the auto and you click on auto and it just says reset to auto and it's Command R on your keyboard. So if you hit that, it then brings this back to normal. So now if we switch, we can go back.
I'm really fit.
That's what it will do for you. So it will allow us to get back to where we should be. And that took me a while to find, out. So what we're going to do is we are going to find something else, something more musically. Let's what should we do? Let's do this one. Let's do this one. We'll go to samples here. And we'll go, let's just go to synths. Let's see what this sounds like. So we've got here. Okay, so let's just say we wanted to use that. Now, we already know that we can use this in our DAW, so we can launch our DAW and let this play along, and we'll do that in a minute. But the thing I like about this, you see this part that says patterns here? This is it's almost like a hidden secret weapon. So let me cycle through this and you'll see why. In fact, let me not do it that way. Let's do it this way. We are going to go to where it says hat and shakers, and it's a synth. So let's just try and add something weird to it. Let's just do some mad. Let's try this. Now let's go back to our Studio One and let's play this. Let's see what it sounds like. We're going to cycle through and see what we got. Now that is something you absolutely couldn't do before, and this, to me, it just shouts out inspiration. It just shouts out inspiration. Let's go and find something else because I love that. I think that feature alone is you've got this synth chord, and yes, of course you can chop it up and do what you want, and of course you can take it into your DAW and add an effect to it, a multi-tap delay or whatever you want to it. But doing it here, and once you've done it here, then you can say, you know what I want to do? I actually like that. You just simply grab it and just drop it on. Let's just drop it into where let's drop it here. You can just simply drag the thing on and just drop it in there, and it's there. It's no more processing. It's done. It's right here. Let's stop that. Let's stop that from playing there. Let's just let it play here. So let's do it. Let's copy it a few times. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. You don't like that? You don't like that? Okay, let's do something else. Let's go back and find something else we're going to do. But that feature alone, just being able to go in and just have this random triplets or eighths or shakers or that alone. Let's just try 2 beats. Let's just try. These are on 2 beats. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, what else can you do? You have your start point here and your end point here. You have your in and out markers here, so we can drag them along. So if we press the space bar here, it will start here. Let's also drag that back. Let's also drag this across, so we have our loop point starting here. Okay, so let's remember we said we can hold the Alt Option key. Let's hold the Alt Option key and cut it. Now that we can cut it, we can go to this, which is your reverse tool, and let's do it in reverse. Let's drag this back and start from the beginning. You got that? Anyone living in London or New York, or you remember this sounds like the police siren. Okay, so we want it to sound a little bit more like a police siren. Let's pitch it. And as you know, we can audition this in our DAW. I mean, this thing is just fantastic. One of the things that I was really OCD about in the previous version is, see this icon here? We weren't allowed to set our images here. Now we can. So if we look at where we are, so it says Loopmasters, We Are House. If we wanted to go and find this, we can simply go along, find the cover art for this, drag it, simply click it, select it here, it will then go in, select it, it will then appear here, and it will index it for you. I mean, that's perfect. I've become a little OCD, so I really want that to be done. Incidentally, out of the box, this thing, it should go through and catalog these images for you. It should go through. So if it finds any that it already has in its library, it will go through and do that indexing for you. So you will not need to do that yourself. Let's carry on. Let's find something else. One of the things I like to do, even if I'm doing, say, house and garage, I like taking sort of an R&B or hip hop chord and slamming that into it, because it's really unusual and it sounds really nice. Just carry on talking about this. As you can see, the raw cuts icon appears here, and as you know, you can already tell that we can resize this, so that makes it a lot easier on the eye. So if you're working on a laptop, you can resize this to make it bigger. Let's go and have a look at what we got inside of here. So that obviously we obviously can do that and just manipulate this to hell. We can go in and have I spoken about this yet? Let's go in. We can zoom in all the way in. We can zoom all the way out. But this is the key feature. This is the new part of the Loopmasters, and this is the part that we've been asking for a very, very long time. And this, to me, it's just a massive game changer to be able to do this. The gain staging part I really do like, and I like that a lot because it means when I'm working in this, I can simply go in and just drag the faders down so that I don't bring a hot sound into my DAW and having to gain stage it there. As I said before, to remember that once you've made these changes, if you want to select another track, bearing in mind that if we do it this way and we select something else, a separate sample, it will still be cut. So we're going to have to remember, if you don't want it to be cut and if you don't want that to apply. Having said that, one of the nice features about this is that if I hold down the Alt key and then I go in and make a load of cuts in this, as I'm doing here, it will apply these cuts to everything. So if we decided to reverse this part here, it will still do that on the other one. So if we go in and we make these changes, it will still have them. And that's what I like. It's about creativity for me, and it's about being able to find inspiration anywhere, and that's what I like about it. And it's non-destructive. Let me show you. If we select, let's go back to our key here, let's just go in and let's delete all of these. This is another wonderful feature about it. We started here and we did all these cuts. It's non-destructive, so what we can do is we can simply pull this out again and we're back where we were. That's exactly where we were. So regardless of whether we go in and make a whole bunch of cuts and we delete a whole bunch of things, we move stuff around, we put this there, we put that there, we do a whole bunch of new and innovative things. We did that and we said, let's just play it. We can have hours and hours of fun doing this. But once we've done it and we decide, okay, we don't want this, that, and the other, we can go along, simply select all, holding down the Alt key, simply select, or the Shift key, simply select them all, click on them, and then we can start where we were right from the beginning. And that I love, because it's endless possibilities of the things that you could do. So if you've not used this, if you've used it before, you'll be able to know your way around these keys and all of these drop down menus. I don't think nothing here has changed. I don't believe anything here has changed. These are still as they were before. It's just the bottom part that we're looking at, and this for me is a massive game changer, because it means I can simply click on these and the icons come up, and that to me is a massive game changer. Because I'm so OCD, I really do want to see what sample pack I'm looking at. If you haven't used it as well, the other thing, if there is one thing I haven't figured out yet, if you remember from version 3, you had this history icon. Now, if you use this a lot, what I don't know yet is how do you clear this very long list of, these are all the things I looked at previously. By date, by the way. So this goes back to, I'm guessing that's last year or year before. So these are all, in fact, are all April. So I'm not sure whether this just stores a huge, horrendous database. I'm not sure whether it does or it doesn't, but that will be interesting for me to find out. And if you do know how to clear this database so that you just, because presumably after a while, when you do this for a long time, this will get longer and longer. So I'll need to figure out that. But that's really it. If you've used this before, you know what it's like, and I know you've been waiting for it, then definitely go out and download it. I will leave a link in the description. By the time this video is published, hopefully this product will be available to download. If not, it will be a day or so, but I suspect it will be available on the day that I publish this video. If there's anything I've missed out and not made very clear, please hit me up in a comment and let me know, and then I will go over it again if I need to, but certainly have fun with this product. This has been something worth waiting for. And finally, this icon here, I don't remember if it was there before, but this is your loop icon. So if you turn it off, it won't loop. So if you play it there, it's going to allow you to loop it. So if you turn it on, it'll just keep looping. So that's it. I think we've gone through most of the options. The main option we went through was the patterns and the edits and the grid. This section here, you should already know. If you're making music, these icons will be very, very familiar to you because they're already in your DAW. The zoom section, you will already know how to do that. It's just all the fun that you're going to have playing with this thing here. Okay, that's it from me. Take care. Please hit me up in a comment. Tell me if you like the new changes. Tell me if you think that the slicing and the editing is useful for you. For me, I love the possibilities and the pattern part of it. I do love this. The kicks, the beats, being able to simply change this into anything. I mean, we've clicked on a hip hop kick. This is a guitar. Let's see what it does. So try this in your make a beat and try these out, because these are very well worth doing. If you're stuck for inspiration, you should certainly try these out. Just simply click on these and go through them and just apply it to something that it shouldn't be applied to. So where we have percussions here, apply it to an electric guitar, apply it to anything, just to see what it's going to sound like, because it could give you some inspiration. Okay, that's it for me. Take care. Until next time. Bye bye.